Hey guys, we have a major problem for the baby goats and any smaller goats, and unfortunately somebody might be injured. So last year was our first spring and summer here on this new farm. I hear you, piggies. Hello, new chickens. How are you? And I was up here doing some fence work last year, and we had the donkeys separated. Fireman was in that back pasture over there with those trees by himself. But we didn't realize that the goats, the small ones in particular, could squeeze underneath the fence in certain spots. Put the goat down! Drop the goat! Oh my gosh. What is wrong with you? Dude! Are you okay? Are you okay? I know, that was scary. That was scary. I'm sorry. Listen, the gate is closed for a reason. There are certain areas of the fence line down here that have larger gaps. Now, I'm assuming the previous owners did that for a reason. The height of your fence around here legally can be 4 foot high, and I had measured this once, and it's technically higher than 4 foot when you measure from the ground to here, but the actual fencing itself is only 4 foot. So they had taller animals. They had a couple of llamas and some big sheep, and they didn't really deal with baby animals. So putting it off the ground wasn't a big deal for them. And I didn't realize how quickly our goats would learn how to go right underneath the fence. And Fireman in that pasture last year, as you saw in the video, grabbed up a little goat named Blizzard by the back of his neck, right on the spine, and carried him around the pasture, which could have caused some serious damage. Now, we have thrown some of the old compost from the barn in front of the fence at the larger gaps, but things are starting to break down. Erosion, the rain and whatnot. There are certain areas that you can see, they're kind of forcing their way underneath. That's not naturally like that. So we have a problem, and just today Andy found one of our goats in the pasture space over here, and her name is Glory. And unfortunately, Fireman does not like to share his pasture space. He's very protective when it comes to his area. They say donkeys are good livestock guardian animals to have on your property, only if they get along with the animals they're trying to guard, obviously. And he's not trying to guard any of the animals. He didn't grow up with them. He's not bonded with them, and he's super territorial. The problem is, Andy noticed Glory was over there. He said it seemed like she was limping. Now, I already did inspect her once. I went over her body and I checked her limbs and whatnot. To me, it seems like she's in shock. I did check her temperature and it seemed fine. And she wasn't actually acting correct. So she's in the middle section of the barn right now. We're gonna head on in there and go see how she's doing. Now, early on this spring, we had one other goat get over the fence and eat all that lush grass. And unfortunately, that goat did get a case of bloat, and we lost that goat. That's our last case of bloat on the farm, I believe. Hello, Cinco, how are you? So let's go see how Glory's doing inside the barn. Payback, huh? So let's hear your side of the story. You'll be the relay man since you don't know how to record it.
I know, right? So, well, we'll have to walk away from Maisie. So, I got to thank Megan for this, because I got a cryptic text, and it was because she did voice to text and it came in a weird order. So, let me see if I can get to. So, I got the first 3 messages. So like I'm thinking, so I got those 3 and that was it.
Okay.
So I'm thinking something happened to Trinity. I need to find Trinity. What happened to Trinity? Like, did something happen and you didn't relay it and I didn't know about it? So I'm walking and I don't find her. So I go out here and I look into the field, or I'm looking towards pasture, and I see a goat in with Cinco and Fireman and Elliot. I'm like, that's not right. So I start running down there, and it's Glory. And she's not moving. She's standing, but she's not moving. And I pick her up, and she kind of yells out in pain a little bit. And as I'm holding her, it's like one of her legs is really bothering her. So I'm thinking it's her back right leg is bothering her, but then also her front left seems to be bothering her. When I set her down, because I had to fix the gate so the gate would shut, because like that one's a little tricky. When I set her down, she started trying to run away from me, and she was limping pretty badly. So I'm thinking something happened between Fireman and her. I just don't know what. I checked her for visible injuries, didn't really see anything. You know, my first concern with that, with her being in there, was the last goat that was in pasture in there was Tinsel. And I don't really know what to look for with bloat other than push the sides.
You're right.
And, so that's my main concern with that. But, there's also some physical injuries that definitely happened in the scuffle.
Yeah, I can assume that definitely Fireman was to blame for this one. But I'm going to take the dingo out to pasture, grab a lot of that old compost and build it up along the way so they can't get in anymore.
Okay.
So, Andy saves the day again.
I don't know, that's a late save. We can thank Megan for her cryptic text and sending me on.
Thank you, Megan.
Sending me on a
Wild goose chase.
Yeah. So let's go see how she's doing. By the way, I'm going to let everybody know we're not live, but we're just recording. Megan is now going to be a task access manager when she can figure it out for Steinmetz Family Farm, because she takes some of the best photos. That there are, and she's going to be able to post them right on the Facebook for us, so you can capture, you can get her vision and see what she does. She always posts them to the Goat Crazy group, so you can head over there as well on Facebook. But she does do really good pictures, and we enjoy them so much. I'm making her a manager of the page for content only. So just so you know, so everybody knows. Just so everybody knows. Okay, so this is Glory right here. And I know we have a lot of goats that you're not very aware of because we have so many. Her name is Glory. And upon first inspection, when I look at her, I can actually see in the fur right here a little discoloration, and like it was wet at one point. I have a feeling he did the same thing to Glory. Now, other than that, I mean, she looks good, healthy. Her body size is good. We'd definitely be looking out for signs of bloat, which would be drooling or head pressing. Obviously, a distended rumen side, which is the left side. What you're looking for bloat, and there's different types of bloat, is when you press this in, see how that comes out nice and squishy? It's squishy and soft. It rolls. It feels like pressing a bag of Play-Doh, you know? Bloat, it would be pushed out further and full of air, and it would feel hollow when you pressed it. So when you pressed it, it would feel like a tight drum head. We don't have any of that going on. So I do think that she's in shock a little bit from most likely being attacked by firemen. Now one day I'll have security cameras out in the pasture space so we can see what happens when it comes to goats on the backside of the property. I'd like to try to get her up here so we can give her a better look over, see how she's walking. I don't have my tripod, but I want to see her legs. I want to see for any injuries. Now, I already did all of this. I'm just doing it right now so you guys can see her. I didn't notice any inflammation. I didn't notice any joint problems. Considering it just happened, it may be a problem later on as she gets a little sore. But we're gonna keep an eye on her. We've moved her to the middle section right here, so she's not gonna be able to get back in there, obviously. And there's less commotion in what we call the middle school. My job is obviously going to be taking the dingo right here. Now I better do that before they steal the keys, because these guys are curious little creatures. I'm gonna take the dingo. I'm gonna go back there. I'm gonna pull from the compost pile right there, and I'm gonna put a lot of soil and dirt back underneath the fence so the goats can't get in. They don't like that. May have a slight problem. I have to drive this underneath this hot wire. The hot wire floats over there, and I don't know if it's tall enough it's gonna make it. Let's get this back there. Oh my gosh. It's so close. I'm not on the machine right now. Oh! It clears by just a smidge. Okay, that's good. So I'm gonna drive down this lane, and I'm gonna look for gaps on either side. And my job is going to be pulling and dumping and filling gaps. So I guess you guys can just watch me do that for a little while. Alright guys, there it is. The project is finished. All of the gaps are completely sealed all down the line for the billies, as well as anything going into Fireman's pasture. So hopefully that does the trick. If you take a look, the grass will grow in and make it look nice, but I want to let you know that compost is extremely broken down and it's practically soil already. Take a look. It just came out of the barn when? I'm not even sure. So it was all straw and hay mixed with their urine and poop, and it is a nice topsoil. Look how nice that is. It doesn't even smell. There's a little bit of fibers in there, but overall, some really good stuff. Rain, you don't want this, I promise. So, keep our fingers crossed, and hopefully we have no more incidences with this guy or any of the goats. Till next time. Guys, I'm just getting my tripod.